What is going on, Fit Fam? Welcome on back to my channel. My name is Megan Janice, the founder of Nomadic Fitness, and I teach you ladies how to get a fit, healthy, strong body that also looks banging, sexy hourglass shape, and you're gonna do that by eating way more food without any restrictions and working out smarter instead of harder so you can easily look and feel amazing year-round for life. So if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that like and subscribe, and if you're coming on back, thanks so much for joining for another video. All right, today I wanna share with you my top 5 tips of how to get fit for life, how to look and feel amazing, and how to do this the fastest, easiest way possible, where you're gonna really be able to keep those results with ease year round. So let's get into these top 5 tips. The very first one is to not always be chasing fat loss and to take extended periods of time to build muscle. This is one of the biggest things that I have learned, and it has really opened up my eyes even within these last 6 months. I was very guilty for so many years of my fitness journey of always trying to just cut, always trying to eat a little bit less, be in that calorie deficit, lean down so that I would be really like cut and toned. And while it worked in the sense that, you know, I would always have really defined abs, and it's not that I was eating like nothing, but I definitely wasn't eating nearly as much as I am now. But the problem was I never really got to have the developed lower body that I really wanted. I never got super defined legs, and especially never got as big of a booty as I wanted. One where it's like really popping out, where your back is going in and the booty's coming out, which is something that I have started to finally build now that these last few months I have been in my first ever extended muscle gain phase, and I've been so delighted with the results. So the reason that you want to spend time actually intentionally building muscle, meaning that you're gonna be eating a lot more food, you wanna be in a mild surplus, so eating a little bit more calories than the amount of food that you are burning, instead of always trying to be in a deficit, which is where you're eating a little bit less than you're burning, which is what I used to do for so many years and what so many women really get caught up doing, because they think it's all about fat loss or weight loss, and they don't realize that if you cut down but you don't really have muscle underneath the fat, you actually won't end up looking as defined and as lean as you otherwise would. And when you have the more muscle underneath, you actually look leaner than if you didn't, which you can really see in my results here. Just this transformation since December to now in May, I actually have gained 10 pounds, but I actually weirdly look leaner at my waist than I did when I was 10 pounds lighter. And the other difference is that I also have so much more booty and legs. And those results are really gonna come and stay with ease, because once you put on that muscle, it's with you forever. That's really gonna come when you go into an extended muscle gain phase. But there's another really big reason why you should do this. When you're eating more food in an extended muscle gain phase, you're also increasing the speed of your metabolism, and you're doing this 2 ways: by the fact that you actually are eating more and more food consistently, because your metabolism is going to adapt and you're going to start burning more calories all of the time. So this is actually how, if you take me for example, I have been able to eat like 800 calories more than I was in my last cutting phase, but still look pretty much just as lean as I did when I was cutting. So really still maintaining my abs, but this time just having way more legs and glutes, which is what I really wanted. I want to look like a muscle mommy. And of course, when you are gaining more muscle, that also makes your metabolism faster, because it requires so much fuel from your body to have muscle mass in the first place. Muscle is just a very demanding energy source, so that speeds up your metabolism. So this is really the most important part to getting fit for life and being able to maintain these results with ease, is you want to set your body up so that you're always going to be able to keep the results even when you aren't actively trying to diet and trying to lose fat. So this is the whole, you want to make your body work harder for you, make your metabolism work automatically 24/7 all of the time, even if you aren't actively doing anything, instead of you always trying to burn calories by doing extra workouts or slashing more calories. And once you get your calories up really high, so once you're eating 2,500 calories a day, if not more consistently, that is going to make it so easy for you to actually sustain this lifestyle. Because this is the thing, if you're eating like 1,600 calories a day, yeah, you can do that if you're only eating all your meals at home and being very strict about not eating out and kind of not really having fun in your life. But if you want to have balance, if you want to be able to easily go out for meals with your friends, if you want to be able to have some drinks, you want to be able to go on vacation, and you don't want to have to be chained to just eating the prepped food that you have at home, this is what is really going to make the difference. Because when you have such a high calorie intake that you can maintain your results on, that makes it easy for you to go out to restaurants and be able to order food that, you know, in restaurants it's usually going to be a little bit higher calorie, but since you have so many calories to eat, you can fit it it in really easily. Same thing with having some drinks, same thing with going on vacation. You're gonna be able to maintain your result while having those indulgences and having fun, because you're gonna be able to easily incorporate it into the amount of food that you're already eating. Okay, fit tip number 2 that's just gonna make it so much easier for you to get results is to make sure that you are prepping those protein and carbs ahead of time. So obviously in general, you wanna make sure that you are getting enough of each macro and that you are hitting your designated macro targets, getting enough protein, carbs, and fats, and then obviously also your micronutrients, so your vitamins and minerals, which is mainly gonna be your fruits, veggies, herbs, all that kind of stuff, the goodness that we get from plants. So if you don't know how much you should be eating, you're hearing me say this and you're just like, well, how do I even know what my macros should be? Check out this video here. I'm also gonna link it in the description because I walk you through step by step exactly how to figure out how much you should be eating based on your body, where it's at right now, and then where it is that you wanna be with your goals. Okay, so here's the thing. Once you do calculate your macros and you track what you're eating, you're gonna see that you need to eat an obscene amount of protein and especially carbs. And this is always really eye-opening to people who thought that carbs is something bad and that they're not supposed to be eating a lot of it. When it comes to building muscle, speeding up your metabolism, and really getting, you know, that sexy toned feminine physique, you're gonna need to eat a lot of carbs because carbs is your body's #1 source of quick access fuel. You're not gonna be able to go in the gym and push yourself hard with the weights you need to lift to build the muscle in the first place if you don't have carbs coming in your body, because carbs is the source of fuel you're gonna draw on to be able to push you through that workout and be able to hit PRs and build more muscle. And then obviously we need plenty of protein because protein is the building block of muscle. So if we're not giving ourselves lots of the thing we need to build muscle in the first place, we're not gonna be able to build it. So sometimes when you're brand new to this way of eating, it can feel like, oh my gosh, how do I even get enough of that food? It's like impossible to eat this much. And one way that makes it really, really easy is to just prep ahead your sources of protein and carbs. So this is my method that I call ingredient prep, which is where you don't prepare necessarily entire meals top to bottom because maybe they get a little bit gross sitting in the fridge for a couple of days. But what you will do instead is you'll prep the ingredients that are the most important and also just that take the most amount of time. So think about it with your carbs. We're talking pasta, rice, quinoa, noodles, those kinds of things. If you had to prep it every single time you were gonna go for a meal, that would end up taking a lot more time. So a way to just make this easy for you, especially if you're somebody who's very busy, or especially if you're not at home throughout the day and can't just be going into the kitchen to always make food, is to take 30 minutes to prepare 1 to 2 carbs and 1 to 2 proteins. And then that way it's already set for you in the fridge. All you need to do is grab it, throw it together in a Tupperware or throw it in a bowl. And then you just add on some fats. So things like guacamole, cheese, a little bit of oil, and you can also add on your condiments. So this can be like salsa or some sort of sauce that's already pre-made that you buy in a store. Then you're gonna be able to have a fresh meal made in just like 2 minutes. So it's not getting gross in the fridge, but you didn't have to take all this time to make the pasta and make the chicken for the meal. So if you wanna know my ingredient prep method in more detail and exactly step by step how to go through it, I walk you through one of my ingredient prep sessions in this video here. I'll also link it down below so you can click on that to check it out and get your nutrition set up for success. Okay, my third tip, and this has been such a huge one, and it is to not just focus on lifting heavy weight, but focus more on increasing the tension on your muscles. This has made such a big difference for me. Again, it's been a huge contribution to the transformation I've seen in these last couple of months where I've really been able to grow my glutes and see some serious leg definition. So here is the thing. You always hear that you need to lift heavy, and obviously I completely agree. You want to be pushing yourself in the gym so that you're giving your muscles a reason to grow, because if you're going in there, you're just lifting light weights, you're not really putting that much stimulus on your muscles, then they're not going to grow. They need to feel like there is increasing resistance on them because that is what forces them to develop. But what I have really realized is it's not just about the weight, it is about the tension on the muscle. And weight is one way to put tension on your muscles, because obviously if something's heavy, your muscles are going to be overloaded, but it's not the only way. And sometimes it's not the most effective way, especially if you're really trying to target a specific muscle, like the glutes, for example. This is something that has really helped me with my glute growth, is isolating the glutes a little bit more and not lifting as much weight so that my legs and back aren't going to overcompensate. Because when it is something really heavy, you're going to be recruiting all of the muscles in your body to help you lift it, versus when it's a little bit lighter, you can really target the specific muscle you want to and make sure that that muscle alone is doing the vast majority of the work. So take hip thrusts, for example, here. This is one of the main exercises that I have really seen this difference with. instead of just trying to hip thrust a ton of weight, which a lot of women do because it's kind of like a big ego lift to be like, yeah, I'm hip thrusting 3 plates on each side. Okay, great. But when you do that, you're most likely also using a ton of back and legs. So you're actually not hitting the glutes as effectively as you could be. Versus if you use less weight, just 1 plate on each side, but you go through the range of motion really slowly, you come up all the way to the top, you squeeze and hold the glutes for a full 2 seconds, and then you lower back down for like 2 to 3 seconds. That is going to hit and target your glutes so much more. Okay, so this brings me to my 4th tip. It ties in really well with the 3rd, and that is don't just go in the gym and do some random workout every single time. Follow a proper structured plan and adhere to the same workout plan for at least 6 to 8 weeks at a time before you change it. And the biggest reason why you want to do that is because you need to overload your muscles. You need to progress in how much you're overloading your muscles, aka progressive overload, increasing the resistance on your muscles over time so that they will be forced to grow. The only reason your muscles are going to grow is if they are doing something that they've never done before, because that is what makes them have to adapt to the training that you are making it do. So if every week you're going in the gym and you're just kind of doing something random, I mean, sure, that's better than not exercising at all, and it'll get you a little bit fit. But if you really want to maximize muscle growth, you really want to pop that booty, you really want to sculpt your legs, you really want to define and tone your arms, you need to be overloading with the same exercises week to week for many weeks at a time before you switch it up. And I say 6 to 8 weeks at a time, but really you can actually go way longer than that. There's actually no reason that you have to switch the workout split that you're doing. A split literally just means like the program that you're doing. So the 5 workouts per week or whatever it is that you're doing, and each exercise within those workouts. There's no reason to change your split so long as you are continuing to see progress. So some people follow the same split for like a year because they're still being able to increase the tension, increase the reps, increase the weight, getting better with their form at the exercises that they're doing and seeing really good results for it. So you don't even have to change your split, but you know, if you're like most people, you're probably gonna get a little bored after a while and want to change it up and try some new exercises. And I also think it's good to swap, you know, every 6 to 8 weeks, just so you can target your muscles a little bit differently with different exercises and with different rep ranges. For example, you're always gonna have some sort of squat variation, you're always gonna have some sort of hip thrust variation, but you can play with different rep ranges in each split. So for example, in the last split you did, you might have had hip thrusts where you were trying to go more for strength. So you were doing like 6 to 8 reps for 3 to 4 sets, versus this new split, maybe you're trying to go for like 12 to 15 reps. So I think it's good to mix and match the different rep ranges because you're getting a totally different type of stimulus with each of those. Okay, and then my 5th and final tip to get your best fitness results and easily be able to keep them for life is to turn this into an overall consistent lifestyle, but not be obsessively perfect with it. So I think that this is the hardest thing when you're still maybe in your first year really of kind of a very committed fitness journey, because when you're just in the beginning, you really get in your head and think the reason why you are seeing all these good results is because you are so adherent to your macros, to your lifting, and you get really scared that if you deviate even a little bit, that all your results are just going to disappear, that you're just going to gain a bunch of body fat, you're going to lose all the muscle that you worked so hard to gain. And it's really only after you have been consistent for a couple of years that you realize that that is not the case. And the reason why is because obviously it's inevitable at some point over these years that you're not going to be able to have a perfect routine. It's going to be inevitable that you're going to go on vacation or that you're just going to get really busy and you're not going to be as focused as you would like to be. And then you're going to wake up the next day and realize, you know, you didn't just lose all your results overnight. So this is one of the hardest things in the beginning to kind of wrap your head around, but I promise you, it is the truth. It is not about hitting your macros, being flawless in the gym, never missing a workout every single day until you die. It is about the overall consistency of that lifestyle. And again, this is what makes it so important to actually take time to nourish your body properly and actually really learn how to feed yourself, to also take time to really build muscle and speed up your metabolism. Because of course, when you put on all that muscle, when your metabolism is just thriving, you're not just gonna lose that. That stays with you. And that's what makes it really easy for you to be able to go on vacation for a week or two and not work out at all, not track your food at all, have some alcohol, and come back looking exactly the same as you did before you left. And then just having the knowledge of how to eat properly, what food should look like, and kind of more or less how much you need to be getting of each thing. That's gonna allow you to be able to travel, to go out with friends, and still be able to have an idea of how to eat out in restaurants or while you're traveling. And then the biggest thing of all is that when you actually fall in love with this lifestyle, when you realize, it doesn't need to be crazy hard, that you actually feel so freaking good, when you are getting those endorphins, when you're building this great sexy muscle definition and feeling so confident in your appearance, feeling so strong, healthy, and energized, you realize that you actually want to maintain that lifestyle. It's not just some crazy diet or some crazy workout program that you did for a month and then you go right back to these bad habits that you had before. And this is one of the favorite things that I love hearing from my clients is, they maybe go away for like a week or two, or they're just busy and they haven't been able to be as adherent as they would like. And they always end up telling me, I actually miss the gym. I cannot wait till I'm home and I can start making my meals again. I miss it. And whenever I hear that, I know I have done my work, because that is the place you want to be. You want to be somebody who wants to have this lifestyle and who's naturally going to default back to it. All right, Fit Fam, thank you so much for checking out this video. Those are my top 5 tips for you. And I promise you, if you implement these things, you are going to see results like you never saw before. You're going to look and feel so, so good. You're just going to absolutely fall in love with it. And I'm so excited for you to experience that. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like button, comment down below if there's anything that you want to see from me. And of course, if you want the fastest, easiest path to results, a completely customized plan that's continually updated based on how your body's responding, with a very high level of accountability, so much support, so much encouragement, so that you're going to do these things that you need to do to get the results you really want to get, then apply for one-to-one coaching in the link in the description, because that's exactly what we do inside my program. All right, fam, thank you so much for checking out this video, and I will see you in the next one.